Today on Good Morning Maine, in the span of 48 hours, 2 people have lost their lives in separate drowning incidents. Plus, a man was seriously injured in a crash yesterday after attempting to use a highway crossover to change directions. And the Maine Senate has approved a bill that would launch an offshore wind program in Maine. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith and thank you for tuning in this morning. Let's get a check of that beautiful forecast. Devin Biggs joins us now.
Alrighty, Emma, thank you very much. Happy Wednesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Winterport Sheds. Do you need extra storage? A place to live? Camp on your lawn? Buildings for your pets? Check them out in Winterport or at the Bangor Mall. And, of course, at winterportsheds.com. All right, let's get into things this morning. Some areas are seeing some reduced visibility courtesy of a little bit of fog out there this morning in a few areas. We're noticing it more in Washington County than anybody else. So down east is where we're seeing a lot of this fog. While everyone else, it's kind of hit and miss. Just keep that in mind this morning as you do make that morning commute. But otherwise, though, again, we just have clouds tracking from the southwest to the north and east and some rain showers as well. We had a little bit of lightning earlier with some of these as well, but now this is all tracking off towards the east. We will have a slight chance for a few showers and a rumble of thunder today. Otherwise, most of us will stay dry with a partly cloudy sky. Here's a big picture right now, though. A few little bits of activity in Canada and areas to the south as well. But again, a slight chance for a shower or a storm for us this afternoon as we get the daytime heating going. We see that right about in here, not very widespread. Some of us may even miss out on this. But tonight we're dry with a mostly cloudy sky that will be moving in. Otherwise, though, the winds won't be a huge deal today at around 5 to 10 miles per hour at tops. But once we head towards tomorrow, though, the winds do pick up a little bit more. Maybe some gusty winds up to 20 miles per hour at times. Sustained winds at around 5 to 15 miles per hour in a few spots. So for today, though, middle 80s, partly cloudy, a pop-up thunderstorm cannot be ruled out. Southwest wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, starting off with a lot of sunshine. Most of that continuing through the afternoon. Again, a pop-up storm cannot be ruled out. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Emma?
Thank you, Devin. All right, well, starting the day off, 2 people accused of trying to kill a Belfast man pleaded not guilty in Waldo County Superior Court yesterday. Justin Wilmot and Isabella Newey were arrested last month after an alleged stabbing and robbery in Belfast. The alleged attack took place on June 11th at an encampment behind the Belfast Rennies. Newey entered her not guilty plea via Zoom. Wilmot did not appear in court, but his attorney submitted a not guilty plea on his behalf. Both Wilmot and Newey were indicted on July 19th and face multiple charges, including attempted murder, armed robbery, elevated aggravated assault, and aggravated assault. They are also charged with falsifying physical evidence and theft. Bail for each defendant was set at $80,000 last month during their first court appearance. Newey is being held at the Two Bridges Regional Jail and Wilmot at Knox County. In other news now, 2 Maine Department of Transportation employees were seriously injured at a job site in Cushing Tuesday morning. The incident happened around 8 a.m. The workers were part of a crew that was retrieving sheet piles near the intersection of River Road and Pleasant Point Road. A statement from the Maine DOT says the workers were pinned between an excavator and a flatbed trailer. Both workers were transported to Penn Bay Medical Center in Rockport. They are in stable condition. The incident has been reported to the Maine Department of Labor, which has jurisdiction over incidents at state job sites. The DOT is also working with the Knox County Sheriff's Office. All right, moving on. In other news, 1 man died while whitewater rafting on the Penobscot River near the area known as Big Eddy. According to Mark Laddie with the Department of Inland Fisheries and Wildlife, 38-year-old Scott Newton of Madison and 2 others were thrown from their raft when it flipped yesterday afternoon. All 3 were wearing life jackets and helmets. After 2 of the rafters made it to shore, they saw Newton floating by unresponsive. Laddie says his body was retrieved and and a few minutes later taken to a funeral home where the state medical examiner will perform an autopsy. We also have an update on a separate drowning incident that occurred in Lincoln on Sunday. The Department of Inland Fisheries and Wildlife has identified the man involved as 61-year-old Brian Minot of New Gloucester. The department says he was swimming near the middle of the Little Narrows Pond with 4 others around 2:30 Sunday afternoon. They say he swam towards the stern of the anchored pontoon boat, went under, and never resurfaced. Minot was later located in about 30 feet of water, approximately 1,000 feet from shore. He was brought to a funeral home in Lincoln. One person was seriously injured in a crash in Plymouth yesterday afternoon. According to Maine State Police spokesperson Shannon Moss, troopers responded to a 2-vehicle crash near mile marker 161 southbound on I-95 around 2:45 p.m. They say their investigation indicates 23-year-old Nicholas Johnson of Winterport was traveling southbound in a 2009 Nissan Rogue when he attempted to use a crossover and traveled into the path of a tractor-trailer traveling in the same direction. Moss says the tractor-trailer struck the car on its side, causing it to go off the road, trapping Johnson inside. Johnson was extricated from the vehicle. He was taken to a local hospital with serious injuries. The driver of the tractor-trailer was not injured. State police are issuing a reminder to drivers that using crossovers is not permitted for any reason, saying it's illegal and highly dangerous to everyone driving on the interstate. Volunteers and state agencies continued the search for 18-year-old Tyler Michaud yesterday. Michaud was reported missing by a family member Friday evening after he did not return from tending to his lobster traps. Tuesday's search involved Marine Patrol vessels and the Marine Patrol plane, along with aircraft from the Army National Guard and private pilots, which provided aerial support. The search will continue today with patrol vessels as well as the main Marine Patrol plane, along with continued aerial support by the National Guard, focusing on the area near Petitmanan Point. Sergeant Sean Dow says Maine Marine Patrol plans to continue search efforts until Michaud is found. Maine voters rallied at the State House Tuesday ahead of a Senate vote to override the governor's veto on a bill that aims to make Maine elections safer. Our Matthew Duronsik has the story.
Today, we are here to ask the legislature a simple question. Will you choose to stand with us, the Maine voters who are trying to protect our elections, or will you choose to stand with the very foreign governments that are disrupting our democracy?
If signed into law, it would prohibit a government foreign entity from making any form of contribution to influence the nomination of a candidate or approval of a referendum. It would also help promote an anti-corruption amendment to be added to the United States Constitution, allowing citizens to regulate the cost of money in elections. This initiative has received bipartisan support from both Republicans and Democrats within Maine legislature.
Mainers are more than capable of making their own decisions. We don't need governments of other countries telling us how to vote.
We've been willingly holding the door open for them to manipulate our elections and to change the culture and character of our great state of Maine.
However, the vote came up short of overriding the governor's decision.
73 having voted in the affirmative, 50 in the negative, 73 being less than 2/3 of the membership present. The veto is sustained.
I'm disappointed but not surprised. This is a measure which is very commonsensical to Maine people.
Despite not seeing the results he wanted, Representative Bennett says he's happy with the amount of attention this has received.
I thought we did quite well getting a 73-50 vote. It reaffirmed that the vast majority of the legislature, both in the House and Senate, are with the people of Maine on this.
Though the veto override was not successful, it does not mean the fight is over. Because it's a citizen ballot initiative and has received 80,000 signatures, this question will be back on the Maine ballot in November's election. In Augusta, Matthew Duronsik, ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
The Maine Senate has approved a bill that would launch an offshore wind program and produce enough power for about 900,000 homes from floating wind turbines in the Gulf of Maine. The legislation was approved by the state Senate on Tuesday and calls for requests for proposals to be issued for 3,000 megawatts of electricity from offshore wind turbines by 2040. That's enough electricity to carry about half of Maine's electricity load. The bill was revised and combined with another bill after a veto by Governor Mills to ensure non-union companies could get into the business of producing the turbines. The House votes next. Last Wednesday, Governor Mills vetoed a bill that would place limits on mandatory overtime and set a minimum wage and overtime rate for agricultural employees. Yesterday afternoon, the Maine House of Representatives was unsuccessful in overriding the governor's veto. They were deadlocked at 61 votes apiece. The bill also would have phased-in overtime pay for individuals employed in the agriculture industry and related industries. Bangor native and Representative Amy Roeder says she wished the bill received the two-thirds support it needed.
State by state, we have to undo the damaging work of the 1930s. I was hoping Maine would step into the 21st century and do that.
After the legislature sustained her veto of LD 398, Governor Janet Mills signed an executive order to pursue a minimum wage for farm workers, including establishing a formal stakeholder group to develop legislation that will implement a minimum wage for these agricultural workers. All right, well, the time is now 6:11. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, a local credit union will soon stop accepting and using coins at all of their locations statewide. This is actually my bank. I don't know how I feel about it. We'll have the details on this next, but first, let's take another look at our forecast. Partly cloudy today. Again, chance of thunderstorms. I haven't been seeing it in Bangor personally. Highs will be about 85 degrees. It was a beautiful day yesterday. It'll be a beautiful day today, folks. Dropping down to about 66 tonight. Tomorrow, though, more likeliness of scattered showers and thunderstorms. High of 84 degrees. We'll be right back.
A taxing driver hit me and I had to stop working. I needed help, but the insurance company only offered me this tiny check.
This tiny check won't even cover my medical bills.
After a car accident, don't take a tiny check from the insurance company. Call the twos.
I didn't take a tiny check. I called the twos, and Lowry & Associates got me over $350,000.
Call the twos. We win for you.
If you're hurt in an accident, what do? Call 222-2222.
Dave's Auto Repair and Towing is now in 2 locations in Bucksport and Ellsworth, providing honest and professional automotive repair and maintenance services. As a family-owned, certified Napa Auto Care Center, Dave's Auto Repair and Towing will take care of your air conditioning, axle repair and replacement, brakes, engine repair, exhaust systems, oil changes, preventive maintenance, and radiator service. And Dave's also offers a large and affordable selection of tires and 24-hour towing service. Dave's Auto Repair and Towing in Bucksport and Ellsworth.
All the nonsense
Fibber
meets no nonsense.
I don't buy it.
Judge Judy.
Weekdays at 5 on ABC 7.
Are you game? Let's go. Come on. To take a spin.
I am ready.
Tell me what you got. To make a guess.
Hilarious punchline.
You got it. Whoa. To take a trip. To Maui. To win it all.
Parting ways.
That's it. Then take a spin on the Wheel of Fortune.
Weekdays at 7 on ABC 7.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith. Well, despite a national social worker shortage, more non-traditional spaces are adding mental health and social work access. AJ Douglas spoke to the Bangor Public Library's new community resource navigator to understand how they plan to serve community members in need.
Libraries have been a source of information and a place that people go to help them solve their problems.
The Bangor Public Library has been searching for a social worker candidate since this spring after being awarded $341,000 in American Rescue Plan Act funds. The funds come from both Penobscot County and the city of Bangor. The Director of Development and Public Relations says adding a social worker to the ranks makes someone available to tackle more complex problems.
Problems are getting a little more complicated for folks, so we looked to see what others were doing, and we found that there's a trend in hiring social workers to help fill those gaps.
Rigler says the role will allow the social worker to act as a liaison, connecting patrons to over 25 organizations in the Bangor area. Olivia Scott recently accepted the role as Community Resource Navigator last month. Scott says This is an innovative way to integrate a social worker into the community.
Is connecting with the different social service agencies in Bangor, connecting with our different community partners, and really getting to know their programs so that when I have people coming in, I can connect them with the person that's best suited to meet their needs.
In Bangor, I'm AJ Douglas for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
More than $520,000 are coming to Maine to help expand rural access to health care. The money is part of President Biden's Investing in America agenda. 2 Maine healthcare facilities will receive grants. Fish River Rural Health Services, the northernmost towns in Aroostook County. That facility is getting almost $70,000 to buy equipment for family medicine, dental, and optometry services, along with technology and food distribution services. Belfast's Penobscot Community Health Center will see more than $450,000. It will be used to renovate the first 2 floors of the recently acquired facility, which serves around 8,000 patients annually. A credit union that's been in the state for over a century has decided to make coins a thing of the past. Devin Dagnall has the story.
Since 1921, Infinity Credit Union has served tens of thousands of members all over the state. Recently, the organization made an announcement that will surely shape its future. Starting on September 1st, the credit union will no longer operate with coins, meaning they will no longer accept nor distribute change.
It's really going to be a move that I would imagine will benefit Infinity. Otherwise, they wouldn't have made that decision. But credit unions operate under what is best for their members and their memberships.
According to Maine Credit League spokesperson Jen Burke, the change of change is in alignment with the union's recent merger with Dear Employees Credit Union, who also operate without coins. The new name of the coinless creditors will be M People Credit Union.
We were a bit surprised when we heard the news, but we certainly understand that it's within their credit union's right to make a business decision.
Burke states although Infinity is the first union in the state to break from coins, it doesn't seem like other unions will be following anytime soon.
We have not heard from any of our other members. We've got 49 credit unions here in Maine. They are the only ones at this time that are making a decision, and we have no reason to believe anyone else is making that choice.
In Bangor, Devin Dagnall, ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
All right, sign of the times, I guess. The time now is 6:17. After the break, the Nickerson Pool in Orono has been forced to close early this year due to some major problems with its pipes. We'll have this and much more coming up.
Which ballpark, which team has the best snacks? We're talking the most delicious seats, even gourmet level. That's what we want to know. And all this week, GMA's hitting big league ballparks to find out. It's GMA's 7th inning snacks. So, will we be at your team's ballpark?
At Hashi's Auto Enhancing, our focus is on the appearance, longevity, and value of your vehicle. Does your undercarriage look like this? You can go from this to this. And if you have a new vehicle, you can avoid this. Our annual undercoating service will add years of life to your vehicle. At Hashi's, we also do rhino linings. We can rhino rocker panels, bumpers, trailers, side-by-sides, and more. We take pride in making your ride shine inside and out. Book one of our detailing packages.
Bring your ride to us to protect your investment.
Make your waterfront even more fun and more functional than it already is with a Shoremaster premium dock system from Hammond Lumber Company. Hammond is the country's largest stocking Shoremaster dealer, with standing docks, rolling docks, floating docks, and boat lifts for any watercraft. Shoremaster's nearly limitless customization options make it easy to create the perfect dock system for your needs. Take your shoreline to the next level with Shoremaster from Hammond Lumber Company.
I hurt my shoulder in a car accident, but the insurance company only offered me this tiny little check.
Don't take a tiny check from the insurance company.
Lowry and Associates got me $300,000.
Call the twos. We win for you.
The University of Maine is planning to build a brand new aquaculture center on campus, replacing the old building that was recently torn down. With the new center, they hope to expand learning opportunities and help meet the industry's growing needs. Our Grace Blanchard spoke with the director of the Aquaculture Research Institute to find out more.
The new building that's going on campus is going to be called the Sustainable Aquaculture Workforce Innovation Center.
The University of Maine's Aquaculture Research Division is designing a $10 million facility that would create unique research opportunities for students.
And the industry has said we'd really like students to learn on systems that resemble what we have in place, and that's what we hope we'll be putting in place for the new Sawick building.
And with the new expansions, they will have more opportunities for hands-on training.
The goal is, of course, to enhance our education, our practical training, but also to help our researchers on campus.
Since the demolition of the school's previous aquaculture building last year, students have been conducting research off campus, and they are looking forward to getting back on university grounds.
You know, we really like to have students have easy access to the facility. I think the importance of this building is practical training, pushing innovation, and pioneering a sustainable aquaculture industry in the future.
According to Bouchard, they have secured $3.5 million for the project and are waiting on federal funding to cover the rest. They hope to break ground on the project in 2024. In Orono, Grace Blanchard, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
In other news out of Orono, the Orono Municipal Pool, also known as Nickerson Pool, will close earlier this year than usual. The pool is set to undergo construction on pipes that have been leaking almost 3,000 gallons of water per day. Orono Public Works Director Rob Yerxa and Rhode Island-based Fillion Associates will be replacing the nearly 40-year-old pipes and gutters. A project, they say, is 2 years in the making. Construction will begin around August 3rd and take approximately 6 weeks to complete. The pool will close shortly before construction starts. According to Orono Parks and Recreation Director Megan Mazzella, closing the pool during the hottest time of the year isn't ideal for some, but it gives ample time for this unique project to be done correctly.
Knowing that this project will last a long time, that's the plan. That's why we have specific contractors coming in to do this work so it's done correctly. This is not a project that would happen a lot. This is a really unique, once in a while type of project.
In the meantime, however, those who currently have Orono Municipal Pool passes will be able to use the New Balance Recreation Center pool at the University of Maine until August 20th. And that is a very nice pool. I think that's a good substitution. Okay, the time now is 6:22. Let's get a full look at that forecast with meteorologist Evan Biggs.
Alrighty, Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Winterport Sheds. Do you need extra storage? A place to live. Camp on your lot. Buildings for your pets. Check them out in Winterport or at the Bangor Mall. And, of course, at winterportsheds.com. All right, let's get into things this morning. Fog down east in parts of Washington County. We're seeing that this morning. Other spots, so there's a little bit of reduction in visibility, so not very widespread. It's just kind of hit and miss. Just keep that in mind. You might encounter some fog as you do make that morning commute. We've also had some showers and a few rumbles of thunder that developed recently overnight into the early morning hours as well. A lot of that is now tracking off towards the east. We'll get the clouds out of here. The fog will get out of here as well. A lot of sunshine today. A pop-up shower or thunderstorm cannot be ruled out during the afternoon period, though. We have an area of low pressure not too far away that might be just enough to get a shower or a storm going, but most of us, though, will stay dry with a lot of sunshine. That'll be across the region. So futurecast moving forward for today, there's that pop-up chance for a shower or storm, especially in the northern parts of the state. Farther down to the south, that chance becomes even less. So overall, most of today will be looking pretty good. As we move forward overnight tonight, a mostly cloudy sky. Not too worried about any fog overnight tonight, though. But as we head towards Thursday morning, watching for clouds along with scattered showers and thunderstorms that will be moving in. Some of those we may have to watch, though. Some of those may get on the stronger side, especially later into the day for your Thursdays that you do move through. But once we head towards early Friday morning, a lot of that begins to get out of here. So Thursday, we need to watch closely. There is a marginal threat out for Thursday, so that means some of the storms could pack a little bit of a punch with some gusty winds and some small hail with that, especially further down to the south and west as well, with some hail and damaging winds there. So we'll keep an eye on this as we head towards your Thursday. Otherwise, though, rain chances for today rather minimal, hardly anything at best for today, at least through midnight tonight. But now running this through Friday, though, here we go. Maybe some spots seeing up to an inch of rain before we're all finished up. Our average high temperature is 81 degrees. We'll reach for the middle 80s today and tomorrow. Upper 80s to lower 90s for your Friday. We cool off for the weekend in the middle to upper 70s, and we remain in the middle 70s Monday and also into your Tuesday, and dew points will feel those as well, though. Dew points will also be in the 60s the next few days, possibly even some lower 70s once we head towards Thursday and parts of Friday. But Saturday and beyond, we fall back down to the comfortable territory into the 50s. So your forecast for today, middle 80s, partly cloudy, a pop-up thunderstorm cannot be ruled out. Southwest wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Later on tonight, middle 60s becoming mostly cloudy, south wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, scattered showers and thunderstorms. Some of those may get on the stronger side, though, producing some gusty winds and small hail. Highs in the mid-80s and a southwest wind up to around 20 miles per hour. Alrighty, here is a look at your extended forecast brought to you by Winterport Sheds. We're partly cloudy on Friday, highs in the upper 80s to lower 90s. More storms for you Saturday, highs in the upper 70s, mid-70s Sunday with a mostly sunny sky.
Every night is pizza night at Dragonfire Pizza. From wings, salads, and sides to our specialty wood-fired pizzas. You'll find everything you need to satisfy any craving by the slice or by the pie. A little slice of heaven is waiting for you at Dragonfire Pizza, Mill Mall, Ellsworth.
Are you looking at buying a house and would like financing options through the Maine State Housing Authority? Stearns Farm Subdivision on Main Road North in Hamden has 32 houses for sale, which have 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, and a 1-car garage for a combined total of 1,400 square feet. In order to qualify for financing, you will need to meet the criteria of the Maine Housing Authority and have a household income of less than $97,900. Please reach out to David Smallwood for more information. 949-3506.
If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma or asbestos-related lung cancer, contact the law offices of Joe Bornstein to learn about your legal rights. Maine has the highest rate of mesothelioma fatalities in the U.S. You may be eligible to receive compensation if you were exposed to asbestos products while working in a shipyard, mill, factory, or construction site. For a free case evaluation, dial 207-CALL-JOE or online at joebornstein.com.
We were on the Christmas storm. We had just fixed 2 broken lines. We heard screaming coming from across the road.
I was so scared that I was going to lose him. He's the apple of my eye.
Nancy said that Kai was choking, and so I gave him a good hard hit in between his shoulder blades and saw something come out of his mouth, so I knew that was a good sign.
If Dana wasn't here, I don't know what I'd done. He just showed up out of the blue, saved his life.
Situated in Jonesboro on the coast of Maine lies Barren View Golf Course, a true links course that's a treat for golfers of all skill levels. We feature a driving range, putting green, practice sand trap, pro shop, and snack bar. Open 7 days a week. Please call ahead for a tee time.
There's one number you need to know. It's called Joe.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. Well, the uproar is growing in Israel over the government's judicial reform legislation. Thousands of protesters blocked a major highway in Tel Aviv. The U.S. expressed concerns over the changes, which aim to curb the power of the country's Supreme Court. Fox News correspondent Trey Yinkst is in Jerusalem with the latest.
The main highway running through Tel Aviv blocked by protesters overnight. Police on horseback, flanked with water cannons, clashed with demonstrators, arresting 18 of them. At least 10 officers were injured. The chaos unfolding after the Israeli parliament passed a controversial judicial reform that prevents the country's Supreme Court from countering future government decisions based on what judges deem as reasonable. The vote sending shockwaves through Israeli society that's seen 29 straight weeks of protest against the bill.
I feel very sad. I feel very big disappointment from our government.
Israeli media report several elite Navy reservists did not show up for duty today, joining more than 10,000 Army Reserve soldiers who are suspending their voluntary service in protest of the judicial reform. While the Biden administration has expressed concern over the fracture this bill caused, the U.S. State Department reassured its closest Middle East ally that military support is unwavering.
There's not going to be any cut or stoppage of military aid, and that is because our commitment to Israel and our commitment to Israel's security is ironclad.
The fallout from Monday's vote also affecting the Israeli economy, with Morgan Stanley lowering the country's credit rating to a dislike stance, and Moody's credit rating agency warning of significant risk to investors due to Israel's uncertain social and political future. Prime Minister Netanyahu pushing back against these new assessments in a statement calling this a momentary response, adding that when the dust clears, it will be clear that the Israeli economy is very strong. In Jerusalem, Trey Yingst, Fox News.
It's being called a win-win-win agreement. It's how UPS is describing the deal with the Teamsters Union, which represents hundreds of thousands of UPS workers. Union leaders and UPS reached a tentative labor agreement Tuesday, avoiding a strike that many said could have crippled America's logistics nationwide. Fox Business correspondent Edward Lawrence has the story.
I'm proud to say we reached a historic deal with UPS.
The largest single employer strike in U.S. history has been averted. UPS reaching a tentative 5-year contract agreement with the Teamsters Union, representing some 340,000 UPS workers.
It's a $30 billion deal that will go in the pockets of all our members, both full-time and part-time.
The Teamsters calling it an overwhelmingly lucrative contract that raises wages, creates more full-time jobs, and includes workplace protections and improvements like air conditioning and delivery trucks. Among some of the other benefits, no more forced overtime for union drivers on their days off, and for the first time, a full holiday on Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
I think it's a win-win for both of us, but more importantly, for our part-timers.
The deal also includes a provision to increase starting pay for part-time workers from $16.20 an hour to $21 per hour. It's a major win for the union that says part-time Teamsters make up more than half of UPS employees. In a statement, UPS's chief executive also praised the tentative agreement, saying it, quote, continues to reward UPS's full and part-time employees with industry-leading pay and benefits while retaining the flexibility we need to stay competitive, serve our customers, and keep our business strong.
It's a tremendous victory for labor.
Next month, union members will vote to ratify the agreement. At the White House, Edward Lawrence, Fox Business.
A House panel on Wednesday explores whether or not the government is trying to cover up UFOs. Fox News senior correspondent Chad Pergram has the details.
The hearing addresses the most important questions of all time. Is there other life in the universe? And are there truly UFOs?
They keep telling us they don't exist, but they block every opportunity for us to get a hold of the information to prove that they do exist.
GOP Tennessee Congressman Tim Burchett called the hearing. It features military pilots who've seen strange things while flying for the U.S. Burchett thinks the government has something to hide.
I guess you could say, why are they still covering up Kennedy, the Kennedy assassination?
One witness is former intelligence officer David Grush. He contends the military has pieces of a craft that is not from Earth and may even hold remains of an extraterrestrial pilot.
I was struck by the sheer amount of detail, and after speaking with him, I was convinced that the American people deserve to hear from him directly.
After the first hearing on UFOs in 50 years in 2022, Congress mandated the military document claims of UFOs in last year's defense bill.
We're not saying what they are or what they're not. We're saying that there's something our pilots are seeing. We're saying it has had an effect on some of our training operations.
Lawmakers say a lack of transparency suggests the government hides other things, too.
I mean, if they can do it here, what else are we going to give them authority to not tell the American people because they're interested in controlling and keeping us in a bubble?
The truth may be out there, and lawmakers hope this hearing sheds light on the question, are we truly alone? On Capitol Hill, Chad Pergram, Fox News.
Coming up on the second half of the newscast, one of Maine's favorite agricultural fairs is kicking off today. We'll hear details about the Union Fair as Good Morning Maine continues.
Wow, with fuel prices quickly rising and no end in sight, isn't it time to give Black's Heat Pumps a call? Did you know heat pumps could save you up to 50% on your heating bill? Our experts can handle all your commercial and residential work and provide you with quality installation, repair, and maintenance. Give us a call today for a free estimate. Our number one priority is to save you money and keep you comfortable all year long. Get the service you deserve. Find us at blacksheatpumps.com and on Facebook.
General Rental Center has been serving Central Maine for more than 30 years with an extensive inventory, including mini track loaders with attachments, full-size track skid steer, track loader and backhoe, wheel loader with attachments, a 50-foot towable aerial lift, and a 45-foot self-propelled four-wheel drive lift. If you can't find it on our website, we can find it for you. Call for multi-day and weekend special rates.
I hurt my shoulder in a car accident and needed lots of medical treatment, but the insurance company only offered me this tiny little check.
This tiny check won't even cover my medical bills. After a car accident, don't take a tiny check from the insurance company. Call the twos.
I didn't accept this tiny check. I called the twos, and Lowry and Associates got me $300,000.
Call the twos. We win for you.
If you're hurt in an accident, what do you do? Call 222-2222.
Hey, Maine. How are you? Yes, you. How are you really? It's a question we rarely ask ourselves. But to Northern Light Health, how you are means a lot. So we're out here asking and encouraging you to ask the people in your life, starting with yourself. So ask away. Then connect with us at northernlighthealth.org/howareyou.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith, and today is Wednesday, July 26th, 2023. Where has July gone? Today is National All or Nothing Day. This day encourages people to give all their energy to every task or dream they embark on, whatever it may be. The key is to break the limit your mind has set and allow yourself to take risks. Sometimes the people who take the most risks end up being the most lucky. For me, the best I can do today is like 75%. That's where my energy levels are, and I think that's fine for today, you know? It's a Wednesday. I think a lot of other people are in the same boat. That's my all or nothing, whatever. The next 24 hours, though, dedicate that to achieving all the tasks you were too cautious to even think about doing before. Yesterday, I cleaned an area that I hadn't cleaned in months, you know? That's a win in my book, you know? It's the little wins. Okay. Our cameraman is over here, tiny claps for me. Are you for real clapping for me? Or are you? Oh, okay, thank you. Okay. On this day in history, in 1775, the U.S. Continental Congress created the United States Post Office in Philadelphia under Benjamin Franklin. In 1947, President Harry Truman signed the National Security Act, establishing the Department of Defense, the CIA, the National Security Council, and the Joint Chiefs of Staff. And just 1 year later, busy guy, later in 1948, President Truman signed Executive Order 9981, which abolished racial segregation in the U.S. military. And on this day last year, in 2022, we're jumping ahead about, 80 years, Russia formally announced, I had to do that math, took me a sec. Russia formally announced it would leave the International Space Station at the end of 2024. I didn't even know they were there. And we're going to move on now because on this day, not very exciting history. So that's all I got for you. My bad. For birthdays today, there are good birthdays, though. We have English rocker Mick Jagger. He's celebrating his 80th birthday today, still rocking. Actress Sandra Bullock is celebrating her 59th birthday today, and Jason Statham is celebrating his 56th today. Happy birthday to them. A lot of big stars. Okay, moving on. It's time to check in with meteorologist Devin Biggs. It's been a beautiful week. It's almost so nice that I don't know what to do with myself. It's like there's pressure to go outside every day, and with the AC on. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Let's check in with Devin Biggs.
Alrighty, Emma, thank you very much. Happy Wednesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Winterport Sheds. Do you need extra storage? A place to live, camp on your lawn, buildings for your pets. Check them out in Winterport or at the Bangor Mall. And, of course, at winterportsheds.com. All right, let's get into things this morning. Some areas are seeing some reduced visibility courtesy of a little bit of fog out there this morning in a few areas. We're noticing it more in Washington County than anybody else. So down east is where we're seeing a lot of this fog. Well, everyone else, it's kind of hit and miss. Just keep that in in mind this morning as you do make that morning commute. But otherwise, though, again, we just have clouds tracking from the southwest to the north and east and some rain showers as well. We had a little bit of lightning earlier with some of these as well, but now this is all tracking off towards the east. We will have a slight chance for a few showers and a rumble of thunder today. Otherwise, most of us will stay dry with a partly cloudy sky. Here's the big picture right now, though. A few little bits of activity in Canada and areas to the south as well. But again, a slight chance for a shower or storm for us this afternoon as we get the daytime heating going. We see that right about in here, not very widespread. Some of us may even miss out on this. But tonight we're dry with a mostly cloudy sky that will be moving in. Otherwise, though, the winds won't be a huge deal today at around 5 to 10 miles per hour at tops. But once we head towards tomorrow, though, the winds do pick up a little bit more. Maybe some gusty winds up to 20 miles per hour at times. Sustained winds at around 5 to 15 miles per hour in a few spots. So for today, though, middle 80s, partly cloudy, a pop-up thunderstorm cannot be ruled out. Southwest wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, starting off with a lot of sunshine. Most of that continuing through the afternoon. Again, a pop-up storm cannot be ruled out. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Emma?
Thank you, Devin. Well, it's that time of the year again. Agricultural fairs are opening for business. The Union Fair and Wild Blueberry Festival starts today and runs until Sunday. This is the 152nd year for the fair, which features live animals, a racetrack, rides, games, and much more.
For $20 general admission, you get to see all the entertainment. You get unlimited rides at the Midway. You get to see all the animal displays, all the animal shows, and there's free parking, so we think it's a really good bargain.
The Wild Blueberry Queen and Princess will both be crowned on July 28th. There will also, of course, be iconic fair foods.
What's your favorite food to eat at the fair?
Cotton candy and popcorn.
The Union Fair will be open from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. For more information on Maine agricultural fairs, you can visit maine.gov. And they have their own website, too. If you just Google Union Fair, you'll find it. Still to come here this morning, Tyler Cruz will have our sports recap. Don't go away.
Tesoro Italian Restaurant serves Bangor's best pizza, pasta, and sandwiches. Located in downtown Bangor across from the library. Open Tuesday through Saturday, 3 to 9, and Sunday, 3 to 8. The bar is also open 9 to 1 Friday and Saturday night. Come in and taste what everybody's talking about.
With AAA Insurance, by bundling our home and auto policies, we saved over $450.
And we were shocked at the savings.
When we switched to AAA auto insurance and bundled our policies, we were able to save over $400 every year.
Switch to AAA insurance today, and you could save an average of $483 on auto insurance. Compare that to State Farm, Geico, even Allstate. Call now for your free AAA full picture quote to find out how much you could save.
Well, my passion is hang gliding. I've been doing it for over 30 years, and it's like flying. I mean, it's like everything you always dreamed about. AAA insurance helps us save more.
And do more.
The savings from AAA Insurance has allowed me to pursue my passion of making jewelry. It's great to have a little bit of extra cash to do something that you love.
To find out how much you could save by switching to AAA insurance, call 866-460-1310 for your free AAA full picture quote today. You'll be glad you did.
I got hurt by a big truck. Why did I call the twos? Because life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. We got a client who broke multiple bones in a commercial vehicle accident, $700,000. Call the twos. We win for you.
Feels for you. Feelings for you. Hey. I'm catching feels for you. You feel like summer, babe.
Good morning, America.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. We're going to start with some basketball news. Free agency started 25 days ago, and finally, the Boston Celtics and All-NBA guard Jaylen Brown have agreed on a contract extension. Brown was eligible for a Supermax contract this offseason after being selected second-team All-NBA. The Supermax is $295 million, but Boston and Brown reached an agreement on the richest deal in NBA history so far, a 5-year extension to the tune of $304 million. The deal keeps the two-time All-Star in Boston through 2029. Now the Celtics have two All-NBA players under 28 years old under contract for the foreseeable future. He averaged 26.6 points per game while shooting 49% from the field last season. Both of those metrics are career highs. In Boston now, and move on to some hockey news. Quite the opposite going on with the Bruins here. Longtime center and Bruins captain Patrice Bergeron announcing on Tuesday his decision to hang up the skates. Bergeron helped Boston win a Stanley Cup back in 2011, and he has been with the team since the 2003 season, back when the Red Sox hadn't broken the curse yet. Bergeron is still a 6-time Selke Award winner. That's an NHL record, and he really embodied the spirit of Boston. Here are his comments regarding retirement. He says, quote, "For the last 20 years, I have been able to live my dream every day. I have had the honor of playing in front of the best fans in the world, wearing the Bruins uniform and representing my country at the highest levels of international play. I have given the game everything that I have physically and emotionally," end quote. He also had a lot more to say there. He'll have a press conference on Wednesday. Let's move to some football now. The CAA holding their annual media day on Tuesday morning. Our first chance to hear from Jordan Stevens and co. ahead of training camp. The Black Bears open up camp next Thursday, August 3rd. They'll have about 15 practices all open to the public ahead of the season. Their first official game is about a month from the start of camp at Florida International on September 2nd. Stevens was pleased with the way the team looked in the spring, but just as important is the culture and accountability that have improved the last few months.
Derek Robertson, Vince Thomas, our other captain is not with us, but Kevin Jones, amongst some other guys, have really taken ownership in this team. They've really increased the accountability within the team from top to bottom. And that's something you can hear, you can feel it, you can see it. Those are the signs that we're going in the right direction.
Maine was picked to finish 13th out of the 15 teams in the conference, but the team is nowhere near fazed by it. The goal of going all the way to the conference title has not changed, and the Black Bears want everyone to know that they are much more than what the polls say they are.
Our number one goal at the University of Maine is to win a championship, and we're going to go out every single game and compete, no matter what our ranking is.
What we're competing for is to be number one. That's what we're fighting for every day, and it'll give us a chip on our shoulder, because if you look at us and you think, oh, that's just a team, that they don't have it, they're not going to be, you think we're not going to be disciplined, I promise you're going to be wrong.
All right, let's stay on the football field now. Wishing them luck. Patriots beginning training camp on Wednesday, but the 2023 season officially began Tuesday with veterans reporting for the year. We're just over 45 days out from Week 1 against the Eagles on September 10th, but it's a long way to go until then. They have a few days of pad-free workouts, and then as Bill Belichick said Tuesday, the real training camp begins. As the Patriots normally do, they say they're taking it day by day, but everyone has a lot of work to do.
I think all of us to the man, don't worry about how it's going to shake down. Don't worry about what the outcome is going to be in the fall. You know, if we got whatever we got tomorrow, kickoff return, let's just focus on doing that well and have a good day tomorrow. And then, you know, from there, have a good meeting, get some sleep, come back, do it again.
I mean, we all got a lot of work to do. It's, players have they have things they got to work on, certainly coaches and everybody else in the organization, whether it's, trainers, video people, equipment. I mean, it's always, sharpening your skills and trying to find a better way, more efficient way to do things.
All right, looking forward for that season to get started. Let's go to the Diamond now for some Legion baseball. The Maine State Legion playoffs underway down in Augusta on Tuesday. Let's check out some highlights. The Old Town Orono Twins taking on Ware Butler, the top seed from the South. This might have been the game of the day. Twins down 2-0. Here's Mr. Maine Baseball, Jason Libby, nailing one deep to right field. That one's going to Waterville. A 3-run shot puts them up 3-2. Bottom 5 tied at 3. Ty Bernian for Ware Butler, a base hit into left. Here's Garrett Card rounding third. Throw to the plate is off. They take a 4-3 lead. But then top 7, Libby again in a clutch spot. He skies it into shallow right. That's going to drop down for a hit. That brings home Gabe Gifford. We are tied at 4. It would go to extras and then a lightning delay. Stop the game in the 10th. Play resumes 10 a.m. Wednesday, tied 4-4. And in more baseball news, the Red Sox traded Kike Hernandez to the Dodgers for 2 minor league relief pitchers, and that is what we have here for sports. Be right back.
The Kia EV6 was named 2023 North American Utility Vehicle of the Year. So consider this: our victory lap. Lease a new 2023 EV6 Wind for $429 a month.
Your favorite restaurants were half off. It's half off dining from Fox 22 and ABC 7. Go to foxbangor.com, click on half off dining, and start saving now.
Mossy Ledge Spirits is a true hidden gem in Etna. Located just 3 miles off I-95, exit 167, we are home to tastings, tours, cocktails, to-go drinks, bottles, live music, and priceless memories. So enjoy some pizza and raise a glass here at Mossy Ledge Spirits.
Great restaurants from all over Eastern Maine at half off dining from Fox 22 and ABC 7.
ABC 7, Fox 22, El Dorado Tattoos, and Graham's 5 and Dime want to send you to see Santana live in concert on his 1001 Rainbows Tour, Wednesday, August 2nd at the Main Savings Amphitheater in Bangor. Sign up to win tickets by registering at El Dorado Tattoos, Bangor's traditional street shop, where walk-ins are always welcome, or Graham's 5 and Dime in Newport. Stop in to elevate your wellness today. Win tickets to see Santana August 2nd on the Bangor waterfront.
One summer program is striking a chord in Old Town. Our David Ledford has more.
Here we go. Ready?
Each summer, the RSU 34 Band Camp brings together aspiring musicians from Old Town and Orono for a week of music, activities, and learning. Players say preparing for the event is a whirlwind, with 3 days to practice before a concert on the 4th and final day of camp.
The band is super impressive.
It's been really fun. This is the camp's 27th year bringing kids together in harmony. Music teacher Cheyenne Priest says the event has become a tradition for many in the community.
It's a way to get kids together, make music, be with friends. It does my heart good to see what a community event it is and what a rite of passage it is in our community. We have kids of kids playing in the band now.
The camp provides lessons to children of all ages and abilities, and while it only runs for 1 week out of the summer, some say the program has resonated with them for long after their last performance.
I have some really vivid and great memories from when I was a kid being here. I'm one of the directors here at the Old Town Band Camp, but I've been coming here since I was a little kid, so this is it's kind of like a full circle kind of experience for me to be able to give back to this community that I was really engrossed in as a kid.
Students shared what keeps them coming back year after year.
I have two little cousins that are here this year, and then my grandfather's a mentor, and I don't know, I just enjoy it.
I didn't really have a lot to do at school, and it seemed like band would help me find something more to fill like the empty time in the day. And I got a lot out of it.
When I first started, I could not believe that we only had 3 days, but when I started doing it, it was so easy.
The band will hold its concert on Thursday at noon in the Old Town High School gym. In Old Town, David Ledford, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Some committed musicians. We love to see it. Okay, now here's meteorologist Evan Biggs for one final look at our forecast.
Alrighty, Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Winterport Sheds. Do you need extra storage? A place to live. Camp on your lawn. Buildings for your pets. Check them out in Winterport or at the Bangor Mall. And, of course, at winterportsheds.com. All right, let's get into things this morning. Fog down east in parts of Washington County. We're seeing that this morning. Other spots, so there's a little bit of reduction in visibility, so not very widespread. It's just kind of hit and miss. Just keep that in mind. You might encounter some fog as you do make that morning commute. We've also had some showers and a few rumbles of thunder that developed recently overnight into the early morning hours as well. A lot of that is now tracking off towards the east. We'll get the clouds out of here. The fog will get out of here as well. A lot of sunshine today. A pop-up shower or thunderstorm cannot be ruled out during the afternoon period, though. We have an area low pressure not too far away that might be just enough to get a shower or a storm going, but most of us, though, will stay dry with a lot of sunshine. That'll be across the region. So futurecast moving forward for today, there's that pop-up chance for a shower or storm, especially in the northern parts of the state. Farther down to the south, that chance becomes even less. nonetheless. So overall, most of today will be looking pretty good. As we move forward overnight tonight, a mostly cloudy sky. Not too worried about any fog overnight tonight, though. But as we head towards Thursday morning, watching for clouds along with scattered showers and thunderstorms that will be moving in. Some of those we may have to watch, though. Some of those may get on the stronger side, especially later into the day for your Thursdays that you do move through. But once we head towards early Friday morning, a lot of that begins to get out of here. So Thursday, we need to watch closely. There is a marginal threat out for Thursday, so that means some of the storms could pack a little bit of a punch with some gusty winds and some small hail with that, especially further down to the south and west as well, with some hail and damaging winds there. So we'll keep an eye on this as we head towards your Thursday. Otherwise, though, rain chances for today rather minimal, hardly anything at best for today, at least through midnight tonight. But now running this through Friday, though, here we go. Maybe some spots seeing up to an inch of rain before we're all finished up. Our average high temperature is 81 degrees. We'll reach for the middle 80s today and tomorrow. Upper 80s to lower 90s for your Friday. We cool off for the weekend in the middle to upper 70s, and we remain in the middle 70s Monday and also into your Tuesday. And dew points will feel those as well, though. Dew points will also be in the 60s the next few days, possibly even some lower 70s once we head towards Thursday and the parts of Friday. But Saturday and beyond, we fall back down to the comfortable territory into the 50s. So your forecast for today, middle 80s, partly cloudy, a pop-up thunderstorm cannot be ruled out. Southwest wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Later on tonight, middle 60s, becoming mostly cloudy. South wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, scattered showers and thunderstorms. Some of those may get on the stronger side, though, producing some gusty winds and small hail. Highs in the mid-80s and a southwest wind up to around 20 miles per hour. Alrighty, here is a look at your extended forecast brought to you by Winterport Sheds. We're partly cloudy on Friday. Highs in the upper 80s to lower 90s. More storms for you Saturday. Highs in the upper 70s. Mid-70s Sunday with a mostly sunny sky.
Harris Lumber is locally owned and has been serving the Pequot region for more than 50 years. See them for all your projects, big or small. Customer service is their #1 priority. And with a full line of lumber and hardware items, they can also deliver to your job site. Harris Lumber, Milo.
Established in 1925, Bangor Floral has been a premier provider of beautiful floral arrangements and thoughtful gifts for almost 100 years. Whatever the occasion, our premium collection of colorful blooms, blossoming plants, and gift baskets have warmed hearts for generations. We strongly support the Buy Local movement, purchasing directly from local farms and growers, and we are committed to the preservation of our environment. Bangor Floral, located at 332 Harlow Street. Stop in today to experience a flower shop like no other.
What can your John Deere compact tractor do? Attachments for any job. Financing that's as easy as...
like getting a library card.
Affordable.
You're going to get this bigger tractor, and it's going to be less money.
Dependable.
Through the rain, through the snow, I'll work through it all.
Comfortable.
And I haven't any idea how we survive without it.
Experience United and build a tractor package customized for you.
I think that this is some kind of sex party.
You have got to stop reading Kim's Cosmopolitan magazines.
Bradley Whitford guest stars.
You want to come down to the basement? I just had it completely soundproofed.
It's your thing. Do what you want to do.
Looks like we're about out of time for the 6 a.m. hour of Good Morning Maine. We'll continue broadcasting on Fox 22. And if you missed anything, head to foxbangor.com. We hope you have a great Wednesday.